Hey YouTubers, good morning, it's Rob Moffett. Guys, we're going to do a video today on hurricane prep items that I've used over the years. My family's been in South Florida since 1919, been through a lot of hurricanes. I thought I'd go over some items that I have used, and I recommend. Um, let's get started. The first thing is, the most important thing is water. To me, civilization is clean running water. If you don't have that, you don't have civilization. I've seen so many people go crazy when the hurricanes come, going out to the store trying to get water. If you just go to Walmart once a month, get you a jug or two, they cost like $10, 6 gallons. They're very narrow. They fit in a lot of spaces, empty. You, they're very well built too. Because they're narrow, you might be tempted to store them under your bed or something, but they'll leak if you put them on their side. But I just empty them out after hurricane's over and store them stacked on top of each other in closets, and they're fine. But it beats going out in your car going crazy trying to find water. When you've got plenty in your house, you just fill it up before the hurricane comes. If you just do this one thing, you'll be ahead of like 90% of your neighbors who don't have any water storage at all. And that's the most important thing in a hurricane is have water afterwards for you to clean yourself and to cook and drink. Also, I backed up my water with a filter. You can install these into a bucket, and if you have any rainwater or groundwater, you can pour through it, and it goes down to 0.2 micron, so it's a pretty good filter. Also, I purchased a pen filter. You can carry with you. You have to bug out, go someplace. You can carry it with you. Life straw, they work pretty good. But I recommend getting the large containers over a period of time and just store them. That way you can fill them up and you'll be ahead of everybody else in your neighborhood when it comes to water. It's the most important thing. Next thing I think is also extremely important is have power. And I use deep cycle batteries, and you can use them when you're trolling mode or a lot of other things. But if you purchased a little 12-volt adapter so you can put 12-volt accessories onto your battery, you can run fans and pumps and power equipment and all sorts of things. So I'll also show you a charger that you can charge just about any mobile device, and it's very handy to have. And you can buy these through the mail now too, because they're sealed. You can actually ship these through the mail, and they last a long time. The next thing is a fan. A fan is a lifesaver. If you have the batteries turned off, if you're usually the hurricanes happen in the summertime and you're going to be hot, there's no air conditioning, you're going to be working trying to clear your yard and do things, and maybe you're not used to working in the heat, and you're going to get exhausted, and heat exhaustion can kill you. If you get overheated, you can pour water on yourself and wet cloths and put yourself in front of a breeze and a fan and cool yourself off and maybe save your life. Also, if you have a way of recharging your batteries, you can run these at night to try to cool you down, because you're probably used to it. You're soft like everybody else, and me too, used to air conditioning, and now with no air conditioning and you're dying because it's 95 degrees at night, and you really a fan is it seems like maybe you're soft for using one, but no, it's very important. Also, this particular fan takes the D batteries, or it'll run off an adapter for your car, or 12 volt. I mean, 122 if you've got regular power. This is not something you can purchase. It's free. It's a website, windy.com. The reason I recommend it highly is because it tells you which direction the winds are coming down to your specific location days in advance. But let's say you're in your car someplace and you're trying to leave and you don't have enough gas to keep going and you got to ride out the hurricane somewhere. This particular app will show you what direction the wind is going to be coming hour by hour, so you can see if there's a safe part of a building you can park your car next to, or if you have a boat and you need to take it someplace and you need to, where's the best place to put it as far as what the wind direction is going to be coming at you. Or if you only have so much plywood left, is there a window you don't have to put a ply on because the wind will be coming from that direction. So it's a really extremely important application or website. I haven't seen any other. The others give you a track and how strong they think the hurricane might be, but they don't go into detail about the wind direction hour by hour. It's very good. Windy.com, I recommend it highly. I like it a lot. Next thing is, some people might get upset because they don't like guns, but to me, hurricane, it's great having one of these babies. get you a firearm. 9mm carbine. I've got a couple of videos on about this particular high point. It's one of my most popular videos, actually. I did a pro and cons of this particular carbine. It's I've been in situations, Hurricane Andrew, we didn't have police for days. I've been in riots in Miami when I was a kid, my grandmother's trailer, and the National Guard came, and there was people being dragged out of their cars weeks or blocks down the road, and beat to death. There was no way to get in and out of the neighborhood. The fires were burning up in the buildings, and helicopters were overhead and smoke in the air. It was a nightmare for days, and no help available. And so, if you don't have something to protect yourself, to be honest, though, after Hurricane Andrew, I can't remember people being more nice to each other because it wasn't a riot. Mother Nature was trying to kill everybody. It didn't matter who you were. And everybody after for hurricane for days, they were as nice as could be, neighborly, friendly, helpful. It brought the community together. But I don't recommend that event for trying to bring communities together. Hurricane Category 5. I think we could try to find another way. But yeah, you need a way to protect yourself, as there won't be anybody to help you. You're going to be on your own. Um, Next is good old Dawn soap. A lot of people don't realize Dawn soap not only you use for dishes, but you can also wash with it. And if you run out of fresh water and you're near the ocean, you can actually get suds and lather with Dawn in salt water. Not many people know that. It's also gentle enough you can use like on your pets or to clean out their ears. They get ear infections and stuff. So I like Dawn soap. It's a good thing to have. Like I said, you can use it on dishes or if you have to on your body or and lather up in salt water too. Next thing is, I don't recommend people go out and buy one of these, but if you have a spare room and you need to buy a bed, get a water bed. When the hurricane came and there was no power, I took the sheets and the blankets off of my water bed and slept on the bare plastic water bed, and that cool water in that bed, it was just like heaven. For days, I was able to sleep at night in the really hot weather, and it was something that was a lifesaver. Well, that wasn't didn't save my life, but it was a extreme luxury. If you have, I don't recommend you go out and buy and use one, but if you have to purchase a bed for a spare room or something, think about getting even a used one. It's something that could come in handy if you lose all your power for weeks. Propane stove. Human beings been cooking on fire for thousands, hundreds of thousands of years. We're very good at making fire and cooking stuff. We don't really need to buy a lot of stuff. Well, we can come up with a way. Human beings are excellent at coming up with ways of making fire and cooking. When I was having to cook, I took a lid off of a mayonnaise jar, took the heating element out of my electric stove, put it down inside, and put the pans on top, and cooked with alcohol with the lid from a jar. You don't need to buy a lot of stuff, but also you don't need to be like a caveman either. I got for $7.95 years ago. I got a propane stove, prime. It still works perfect, and you can cook all you ever need to cook with this stove. You can get the propane bottles uh, on sale at Walmart. Put them in your closet. They'll last for as long as you're going to be alive. Um, it's there's so many people go to so much time and effort on thinking about how they're going to cook with stuff. It's really not that hard. I do recommend having a backup, like a little tiny wood stove, or maybe some bricks to make a rocket stove outside in case you do run out of propane. You get a bad situation where you're out of power for ages. But propane stove and some extra bottles of propane will take care of most of your problems. And no fuss, no muss. You can cook inside the house. Don't have to worry about carbon dioxide. It's a great way to go. Next thing is, I thought I was being a genius using this thing here for taking a shower. And I bought one real cheap at the store. And the first time I used it, afterwards, I got this terrible feeling all over my skin. And there was just something wrong. And I opened up the container, and there was like a Vaseline lubricant inside the pump spray part. So when I was using the water to spray on me, I was getting this chemical all over my body. And it really made me feel bad. Afterwards, I switched to just a plain old squeeze bottle. You'd be surprised. You can't wash your hair with this unless you got extremely short hair. But you can take a shower with this. You can squeeze all over, then soap up, and then squirt again. And you can use the minimum amount of water possible to clean yourself. it's probably one of the best things if you have very tiny amounts of fresh water to use, but you really need to take a shower and clean yourself off. Um, a lot of people also use these. I have one, but I haven't used it yet, so I can't tell you. They put these in the sun. I don't know how well they work, but I've got one. Next thing is solar lights. All my life, we always use candles, every hurricane. But the last few hurricanes, these things are dangerous, the candles, even though I like them, because you can use it for other things like cooking and so on. I've made videos how to cook with these, but I recommend plain old solar lights. You can get them. There's dozens of types now on different online sources, or even at Walmart or the other camping stores. You can get them. This one in particular is good because you can charge appliances with your phone and so on. Put it in the sun. This is another one that's good. You can't charge things with it, but you can deflate it. It doesn't take up a lot of space. It's very light. You can hang it. It also comes in different colors, and it lasts a long time. I think it like 10 hours out of mine. Like I said, you can charge things with them. Don't shop around though, because sometimes they gouge you on the online sites, especially after hurricanes. I've seen where they really increase the price on these a lot after the hurricanes. The next thing is a drain plug. You want to fill up your bathtubs, and I found that I didn't have a drain plug, and I went and bought this. It works excellent. If you're on a high floor, it's good to fill up your tubs, but you want to be careful. If you're filling up your tubs with a tub on the bottom floor, and if people keep using the sewage and it's not draining out, if the water supply isn't working, you're going to back up sewage into your pipes, and you could get it into your tub. So there are drain plugs that have screws in them where you can screw and make the plug extremely tight so no water will leak out, but even more important, no water can leak in if you have backup of sewage. So you want to be careful with water in your tub because you're not sure if you're getting any backflow, any contamination. But these particular plugs are good for high floors where you don't have to worry about stuff, at least right away, with stuff backing up into your tub. The last one is kind of cool. Is a multi-charger. You can charge just about any mobile device. So if one person has a different type of phone than you do, you can charge it up with this by hooking it up to your battery we already talked about earlier. This is a lifesaver. It's good to have communication during a hurricane. I thought I'd go over some miscellaneous items. It isn't so much for hurricanes, it's more like a prepper stuff. But there's an endless variety of things you get for prepper. But these are just some of the things I've gotten for if a long-term case of no power and so on. Is you might run out of food. There's a lot of the United States is lucky. There's a canal or a river or a lake or a pond or ocean just about everywhere, not too far away from where people live, and you can usually get fish. The cast nets are an excellent way to get fish and crustaceans and wildlife, and they're easy to use. You can learn how to use them pretty quickly. Another thing is it's illegal to use in many areas, and I don't use it, but if it was ever a disaster, I would use a gill net and the second flat because there's very little work involved. You don't have to have a lot of time involved tending it. You just put it out next day, bring it back in and see if you have any fish. But the reason it's illegal is because it's extremely effective at catching all types of fish. So these are a couple things to make sure I would never go hungry, and my neighbors too. The last thing is, if you're run out of gasoline, you don't know where there is gas in your neighborhood, you can take a big gas can and get on your bike and ride around to the gas stations looking to see where there's gas and get in line with your bike and then fill up your can. If you drive around with your car and you're on empty, you're going to end up being in a frantic situation where you're going to run out of gasoline. So it's also you can put the fold-up bicycle in your car and take it places. It's very handy to have extra mode of transportation in case you run out of gasoline. So those are my tips, guys. Those are my 12 and extra ones, bonus ones for hurricanes. Things I've used, things that I like, things that are very helpful to help survive a hurricane. And hope to help you guys. Hope you come back, watch more videos, put new stuff on every week, and see you out there.